Hello, I'm Roland. Welcome to Speaking of Everything. Wow. I say wow because the person you're going to meet is a very, very, very special person to this show. You know, it was March of 1984. March of 1984, this program first aired. But I was going around from in December of 1983 looking for sponsors before the show started. And we got 4 sponsors. And it's amazing today that the person you're going to meet was one of those first sponsors back in 1984. The man himself, quite a remarkable German and Calypsonian here in St. Martin, Mr. Victor Genius Richardson. How are you doing, sir? Did I put it right?
Yes, that was good enough, yeah.
Okay.
Thanks very much for inviting me to be on your program once more, because I did this program several times with you and thing. And yes, I do remember when you first started, it was Speaking of Everything,
Right,
was the program.
The same show, yeah.
Yeah, and you came around, you're trying to get sponsors and thing.
Yeah.
And I was, okay, there wasn't no big set of money and thing, but here we have a local person trying to do his thing and trying to get on TV, radio, and he looking for sponsors. So I think it was my best duty to be one of those people to make sure that we have a local person out there.
And you know, there were 4 local businesses. There was Caribbean Palm. It was also Carlos, David Carlos Construction. Yourself, with your music studio, you had them
Genius Musical Fan Club.
Right. And it was also Miss Lee was Caribbean Palm.
Right.
And you had Carlos from Carlos Construction and also Don Cheese on Back Street.
Okay.
Yeah. 4
all
local,
local people.
So no, I always remember that because it's 41 years ago, but time go fast.
Yeah, quite some time.
Yeah, so how you been keeping, man?
Well, you know, as you get younger and things change, you know, but I'm not complaining because it could be worse. But, you know, the health and thing, I always make sure I am on top of it. I check with it, you know, all the time. I go to Santo Domingo. And whenever they give me an appointment to come back, I make sure I do that, yeah. But I've been pretty okay. I'm not complaining.
That's great. You know, it's 50 years you've been performing.
Oh yeah, 50 years in the music business, but not the music business, the calypso business. Because before the calypso, I used to do like Otis Redding, Tom Jones, Sam Cooke, those type of music. We used to do that at Vava Flanders. On Sundays, you know, they have the shows there. And like with Julio Wilson, Willie Duzon, and those guys, those was the singers.
Oh, beautiful days.
Yeah, and I was part of that also. So I used to do that music before. But then in '75, something come over me, and and I get the inspiration to be a Calypsonian.
Really?
And what could be a better opportunity to have a good song was when the fire in town, the government administration building got burned down. And I based a song on that. And then I had the next one, Mass of Class.
Right.
And I used those 2 songs in the competition. And I came out the winner in both competition they had. There was the Calypso competition and the road match competition. I won both of them.
And that fire was what, 73 or 70?
74 is the government administration building used to be on the front street where Holland House is located.
Exactly.
That's where it used to be. And there was a dispute, a labor dispute with workers. I think there was what we call on the pier at Point Blanche. And I guess those guys couldn't get under no condition. They couldn't really work out, you know, a condition. And some guys just take it on themselves and go and went there at nighttime and put fire to the administration building, figuring that maybe would change the problem. And there was local guys, and most of them that was up front, served time in jail in Curacao.
You know, it was quite an interesting time. I was a young guy, just gone to work at Mother Bay.
Okay.
You know, and recall that it was a difficult period in Cimarron history for sure.
Yeah, definitely, because we never experienced nothing like that before. That was a big thing. In those days, you couldn't get nothing news-wise. You couldn't get nothing more bigger than that. You burning down the government administration building? Yeah? Wow, that was big.
But you know, when you look at your career in music, you know, 50 years is a long time. Not many guys stick around this business for 50 years.
Yeah, I hang in there. Like I said, since '75 until now. And when you count that, it is 50 years. Even though in between I had a little break, because for the past like 5 or 6 years, I've been out of the business, just listening, wasn't doing anything. But as this celebration come up, I was encouraged by a gentleman and some other people also. A gentleman by the name of Clifton Wilson. Wilson.
He encouraged you to get involved. I'm gonna let you turn your phone off while we're doing, because you're right here speaking, and your people call all the time. So what we're gonna do is please put them in airplane mode, and then that will help a lot, because it's my fault. I forgot to tell you that we're doing this show and it's live to tape. But anyway, it's just that, you know, when you look at your music and everything else. So, how many times did you win the road match, and how many times did you win the Calypso King?
Okay, good. I won the Calypso King 2 occasions, and I won the road match on 1 occasion.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I was saying...
The name of the gentleman who
got you, Clifton Wilson. For you who know Clifton, he was an employee there by Island Water World for a long time. But I think he's on pension now. And one time he was saying that he was going to be the minister for pensioners. He was doing that. I don't know if you know Clifton, a guy with beards and things like that. Yeah. Okay, he keep encouraging me, telling me, Genius, you're making 50 years anniversary. You have to come out. You have to come up with a song for your anniversary. And he was going to look into it to make sure that, you know, they respect you in this year that you're celebrating your 50-year anniversary. So, you know, I thought about it, and he keep coming back a couple of times, and I thought about it, and right after the season finished there in December, the Christmas, you know, I do my baking and thing.
Right.
There was nothing left, because everything gets slow. So I told myself, you know, I'm going to take up Mr. Wilson serious and go out and do something. So I start to prepare my song, which is 50th anniversary. That's the new song that I have out at the moment.
And it's playing right now on 99.9 FM radio.
Okay, yes, I do hear it playing on your station, yeah. So that was the first song that I started to work on. And right after that, then I had the next song named Friends Them. And it's a nice song too, and it based more too on, I'd say it's a long time. It's a long time I haven't been around.
Right.
So I was encouraged to come back, and definitely I tell myself if I coming back, I'm going to step it up a little and come out even better than I ever come out before. Although every year I always have clean and top quality music. But I think I step it up a little step this year.
No, you're right. I know it's because both songs are being played now on the 99.9 FM radio, Friends Them and the other one.
Right.
But when you look, I said to myself, you know, but boy, Genius ain't joking, man.
Yeah.
I mean, he came out with this tune. It's so good.
Yeah.
It's a short period of time.
The song was recorded, the music was recorded in Trinidad on both songs. And during the time I was checking on medical in Santo Domingo, I did my practice, you know.
So you did the vocals in St. Martin?
Yeah.
And sent it to them?
They did the music in Trinidad,
right.
And then they sent it to me here. And I did the vocals by Fats, Neville James here in Colby.
Yeah.
I did it with him. And then when we finish the vocals, we send it back to Trinidad. So they complete it and add more music to it, and mix down and master and everything like that. There are two different arrangers I'm working with.
Okay.
One song, which is the 50th anniversary, is arranged by my friend Leston Paul. Yeah, we've been together since '86. I've been with Leston. And
where is he now?
He's in Trinidad. Yeah, he's the one that record for a lot of those big artists. Sparrow, Kitchener. If you check them album, you see arranged by Liston Paul and thing. And I use a young guy, Friends Them. He was here on the 26th of on March. He spent 3 days here with me. I use him on Friends Them, a young guy. So we get two different type of thing.
And he's from where?
He's from Trinidad also. But he decided that he want me to come to Trinidad to put the voice on, because he want to be part of that. He want to hear it and make sure I get it the way it's supposed to be. So when I came back from Santo Domingo, I tell him I couldn't really make it. You know, I've been out for so long, and I just couldn't take up again and go to Trinidad. So he decided to come. So he was here during the time that I put the voice on by Fats and Neville James.
But you know, it's quite interesting because you didn't forget the people who helped you along the way.
Oh, no, how could I do that? I always, if you listen to my interviews and that I have for over the years, I'm not shy to say, because a lot of the Calypsonians, they always say, me. I don't think that is correct. If you're getting help, you should say exactly where you're getting help. Because a lot of them, they're saying me. It's not so. It's not so. But if I get the help that I has been receiving, I think it's only the right thing to do is to acknowledge those guys. So, for instance, Clarence Derby.
You work a lot with him, huh?
This gentleman been with me since 78, 79. Yeah. Okay, we haven't really did any work for the past 15 years.
But he wrote a lot of your originals?
Yeah, he did a lot of songs for me. He came in. I started in 75. Clarence started with me in 78, 3 years after I started and thing. And there's other names. I put Leston Paul, I put Art Dakota, I put Joey Lewis, those guys, and I put funk. Carol Hodge is a gentleman from Anguilla, live in New York, and I put Fats. Neville James. These are guys that helped me throughout my career. So if I'm singing an anniversary song and I'm singing it promoting myself, and for the years that I've been there, I can't throw off the people that been behind me and pushing me.
Definitely. In case it's joined the song, I'm Earl Gibson speaking around thing with the man himself, Genius. That's the correct name, Genius or Mighty Genius? What exactly?
First it was Caiso Genius. Caiso Genius. But we moved the Caiso and we make it Genius only.
Only
Genius, yeah.
All right. Genius is with me on Speaking About Everything on YouTube, Facebook, and on Hot 99.9 FM radio. When we come back, we're going to continue with him because that man you see in there on the screen is responsible for a very unique type of music that came out of St. Martin. We'll talk about that when we come back.
We are vibrant, expressive, warm, and diverse. Together, we conquer, and now we expand into new horizons, giving you more of the best. Introducing our new Banco Matico Plus with wider acceptance, purchase protection, and enhanced security. Whether you're online, traveling, or in paradise, experience more with Windward Island Bank. Banco Matico Plus, more of the best.
My guest on Speaking of Everything is the man himself, Mr. Victor Genius Richardson. And he's a very, very interesting Calypsonian, celebrating 50 years in St. Martin performing. And I must say, you're internationally known.
Definitely. When I started this business, this music business, I had no idea it would take me where it did. you can go to almost all of the islands, the English islands, and you say genius, there's somebody you're going to find that know who genius is.
Even St. Thomas and St. Croix.
Oh, sure, definitely. All over.
Yeah, and so there was a Rumba movement.
A rumba?
I said Rumba movement because, you know, the Rumba, you're the man that came up with
the idea and the beat and everything. Yeah, I've been doing rumba, although my friend Dow, he came up with a hit song and thing. I've been doing rumba before Dow even think about getting involved in calypso and recording. I've been doing it, and I have the proof there. I have the recording. I have Baila Baila, I have Senorita, Melinda, Colombia, Santo Domingo. All of those are rumba songs.
Yeah.
And like when Dow recorded rumba in St. Martin, he was under my wings. He was coming by me every day, and I was doing rumba in Santo Domingo. So that gave him the idea. If you play both songs, you'll see the music is similar music.
Yeah, nice guy. He didn't take him to court.
No. But, you know, he came up with a hit, and people get to hear that, and they, everything is that Dow make it. Nothing against Dow, because he's my friend. Yeah. He visit me all the time. All the Calypsonians, he always come by me. As a, friendly talk and things like that. But the truth have to be told. I is the one that create the rumba music. Yeah. I've been doing it before Dow even started to sing calypso.
Wow, it's amazing, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that song that Dow did, it went like global.
Oh, sure, definitely. Yeah, I was in New York, and I can guarantee like 2 or 3 times for a week, you will hear a radio station playing that song. But you're not hearing it from Dow. You're hearing it from a Spanish guy.
From Venezuela, right?
Yeah, that sing it over.
That was kind of...
he make it big out there with the song.
And he had a music video also of it. I was in Puerto Rico. That's where I saw the video of the guy from Venezuela singing the song.
It. He really spread it and make it big.
Wow. Yeah. So, when you look at it, you mentioned some songs there a while ago. Those rumba songs, they're also very good.
Yeah, sure, definitely. They don't play them on the radio. I think if they would play my rumba music more.
We play your music. I mean,
okay.
Can't overkill it, but we play
okay. Apart from you, you just get.
You just came in.
You just came in, so I know you just play my music. But if you listen to the other stations, you don't hear much local. And me that have so much songs out there, you don't hear our music on the radio. And if you want the truth about the rumba, play my rumbas and say exactly what year it was sung, and you'll see what I'm saying is true.
It's amazing. I remember I told you once on another show, I was driving my car, I heard your song on the station in St. Thomas.
St. Thomas, and you called me. You say, tune into the station. You say they're playing your music. I'm well known in St. Croix, St. Thomas. Yeah, because my music plays a lot on the radio there. So whenever I am in town, you were surprised. I land at the airport and you hear, genius. You're asking yourself, well, who don't here know you? But there are people that know me all throughout the Caribbean.
You can recall how many albums you did?
Wow, it's quite a lot.
A lot of albums.
It's quite a lot. I should have over 30-something albums. I should have. I don't have a correct figure at the moment, but I should have that.
I can remember the one you have with the car on the Gulf Coast.
Oh, yeah, down Mulla Bay on the Gulf Coast, right?
But those, when you look at the music, 50 years of calypso coming from you, how has it changed in the studio? So you recall going in the first time 50 years ago, how easy is it today? Is it better today or it's better then?
Yeah, when I first start, Arrow, he died a couple of years back. He's the one that I went to Trinidad. Arrow from St. Kitts. Yeah. Well, both Arrows died. I went to St. Kitts with him. This first year that I sang Fire and Tongue and Mass of Class, and we did my recording there. And at that time, the whole band the whole orchestra would come into the studio, and everybody play the music one time. They play the music without your voice, and then they go, and then you put your voice on. Nowadays, you alone can play all the music. One man playing all the music, everything is computerized. So we're not having that big band coming in like before. The arranger on the computer, he played all the instruments, everything. And if you favor live instruments like horns or even drumming and thing, then they bring in that the drummer and they tape him, or they bring in the horns and they put that on. But that's how it has changed, because, like, for instance, I just told you that the music was done in Trinidad. I didn't leave St. Martin, but I got my voice onto it and I have a complete recording. So that's how easy it is to the years back. Back then,
you had to be physically there.
You had to be there, physical there, in order to do it.
That's technology is so.
So you can stay right in your bed. And sing your song. And you got your recording. You know.
But when you listen closely to it, which one you think was better? You know, when you listen, you have to have the ear for the music. When you listen really closely, you prefer the analog way or the digital way? I did a little maybe tricky question.
Both of them sound good. Both of them. It all depends on the taste of you, the person. But you have to go with time. This is the new time now, and everybody's looking for that style. So you have to get out that old thing and go along with it.
Efficient too.
Exactly. So I will still give the edge on the technology that they have now.
No, definitely,
Because too, the old way, let's say if you have a guy drumming, a guy playing any other instrument, the old way, he could make a slip up and make a mistake. But with technology, whatever beat you put there, you're getting that straight out throughout the song. That beat doesn't change unless you want it to change.
Easy to change, right? Well, it's good. So, you plan to perform for your 50th anniversary?
At this moment, no. When you say perform, you mean competition? No, I'm too late for that. But I didn't have plans for that.
What if they invite you to be in the village?
Well, I need to get that before I can say yes, because up to now I haven't get that invitation from no one.
You see, this is what I can understand.
I'm not going to come out and say yes, I'm performing. Performing where? No one has given me, an invitation to really come out and perform.
So Richardson, when you look at St. Martin, we tend to forget people so fast.
We forget our own, and we promote outside.
Exactly.
Everything is just outside, and locals have no chance, absolutely.
Now, they should have been calling you and saying, look, you've worked along with other people to build it to where we are today.
Right, sure, definitely. I'm 50 years, I'm here since Sundials, when they used to keep it at Sundials up ahead of the town, on the Pond Field.
The little boy living right there in Up Street.
You were around that area, right? So that alone can tell you how long I've been around.
Let me ask you this. What's your favorite song? You have a favorite one?
My favorite song of my songs?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's got a different...
That's a good question.
It's tough. I can imagine.
I have a lot of songs that I like,
It's like you have children, they're all your favorite.
Right, exactly, and you don't know who to choose from. I would say all of them is my favorite song. All of them.
Going back to Africa, what came into you with that song? How did you decide, I'm going to have this song?
That's a Clarence Derby idea. He's the one that really put that song together. Before that song, I used to do some little African beats. We do an album. And when you do an album, you don't want to put the complete album in just calypso. So you give a mixture of different style of music. That's where the rumba come in too. Because you're doing 10 songs. So you want to mix up the music. So I used to do a little African beat too. So Clarence just came in with me and thing, and he see I'm there with the African music, so he decided to put this African, going back to Africa together.
It's quite an interesting song, by the way.
Yeah, it is.
Very, very, you know, when you listen to it, the words and the beat, I think it's different than the other songs you did.
Definitely.
Maybe I'm wrong, but
but definitely it's a different beat, and the lyrics, everything is something different than what the let's say the local Calypsonians sing, because the local Calypsonians, most of them, if not all of them, just base the song on politics, melee that happen locally. I always try to reach out international. My lyrics and my songs are trying to reach to the international.
Anyone could understand the message in your song.
Right, exactly.
While if you focus on local politics,
it's just here for 2 weeks, 3 weeks to die out. Because you wouldn't you living outside would not understand what this song is based on.
Right.
So you have no interest in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that's what made Bob Marley so famous. The music was universal. Exactly. And a lot of your songs are universal.
Because that's the way I think of having my music. If I'm going to invest and do the music that I'm doing, because it's not cheap.
You got to come up with a lot of money.
I just can't come and sing about politics and local thing happening around here.
Yeah.
I have to sing in a standard that I'm drawing the attention of the outside world.
Yeah. So how your fellow Calypsonians feel about?
Wow, good question. Everybody silence. Everybody silence, and no problem to me because I'm accustomed to that. Now I would try to reach out, although I know what's going down and everything. I meet you, I'm the same way. If I have to congratulate you, I congratulate you. I don't get much of that. Everybody silence.
But they like it, so they wish you had your songs.
Yeah, you're right.
There's a Melinda.
Oh, Melinda, come do the rumba.
Yeah,
that song, I did that with Art Dakota. And that is like, I think, what, 87.
Wow.
From 1987, we make that song. Come, Melinda, come do the rumba.
Right.
I tell you, I've been singing rumba for years before anybody else who wants to say it's their music. I've been doing that.
A nice song.
We did that. I did that with Art Dakota. And we did a lot of that music in Puerto Rico also.
Oh, okay.
The background vocals, I used some girls from Puerto Rico. And I even use the drum, those the Congos. We use them from El Gran Combo.
Wow.
So if you listen to that song, you hear the drumming from El Gran Combo. Yeah.
And you have one, Woman.
Oh, that I get people from St. Croix. I have a lady in St. Croix that call me all the time. Genius to say, when I was a little girl, that there was no song that I want to hear more than that song, Woman. If you can get it, send it to me. A lady in St. Croix.
My wife liked it too.
Yeah, a lot. That's a lady's song. A lot of ladies like that song.
Oh, so my wife always tells me she like it.
Yeah. Woman is man weakness, man sweetness. Yeah.
Great song. And you know, it's amazing when you look back at your music career, spanning 50 years, and the songs so universal. And one of the things, I know sometimes the other Calypsonians get a little angry with me because you're here often, you know, and you're very accessible, easy to get. You know, the same thing with Fish and Baker and Jacko. But your music really is so unique in a way. And most of your songs, if not all, sound different.
Right. Exactly.
It's different, you know, the music and everything else. I think, I don't want to call names, so I don't want to get myself in a problem here. But let me stick to you. You have a unique way of performing, of music and lyrics. I think it's just amazing for a modern Calypsonian.
Yeah. No, see, I try to get out of the style of repeating yourself year after year.
Stuck in the same tune.
Yeah. Some people, when they come out, you're hearing the same thing you heard last year. It's just a continuation. The beats and everything is the same thing.
I'll tell you what I mean by that. I know he's going to get angry with me, but it's okay. He's my good friend. We went to school together, Bobo. When you hear Bobo, it's like almost the same. I'm not putting him down here.
I mean, I don't want to say those things. Bobo is good. You can't stop Bobo when it comes to performance.
Yeah.
He's performance. But his music, I just saying the way I feel about it.
Yeah.
Is not that great like how people make it to be.
Yeah.
Is almost like a repeating thing all the time.
That's
the same style. You're not getting that international flavor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's good.
And like I said, not to bring nobody down, but you got to say things. Your opinion is your opinion, how you feel about things. And you shouldn't be saying that you like something when deep down inside of you don't like that. Now, not taking nothing from Bobo. He
won the most
right now there's only two artists. It's me and Bobo.
Yeah.
We are the two artists here.
Yeah.
But he have to step it up a little and sing more internationally.
Yeah.
He sing too much of local songs, and after a while they start singing the same thing.
Yeah. And so that's what I mean, because Bobo still have the record for most wins.
Calypso.
Right, exactly. But I mean, it's amazing when people hear your songs, and it goes beyond the borders of St. Martin.
You know how many people would meet me and they'll say, "What part of Trinidad you from?" Yeah, I get that. I can
imagine.
Outside of St. Martin and right here in St. Martin.
Because your songs are different.
The first person approached me with that was Beverly Hyman.
Yeah, she's from Trinidad.
Yeah. She said, well, tell me something. What part of Trinidad you from?
She wants to
you? She said, all the time I thought you were Trinidadian. Because of the music.
Yeah. And also Timo too focuses a lot on his music to be international like you.
Right.
He came after you, by the way.
Yeah,
too,
he did.
But when you look at the music, and you perform in New York too.
Oh, sure, definitely. I perform in New York several times. I perform with this organization. I forget the name of it.
That's for Labor Day?
Labor Day and different times too. They build that
French Quarter?
cultural center there in French Quarter.
Yeah,
destroy now.
Yeah.
Though they invite me several times. I went up with the Creole Stars on several occasions. I went with the Superfly Brothers. And I opened for Byron Lee in Brooklyn.
Really?
Yeah, I did open. And Fats, Bonardi, and Connor. It was the Bonardi trio. Those was the musicians that backed me up. I was kind of nervous knowing we going up there and we got Byron Lee.
He was
coming with this big band behind us, and I with my three-piece. But when them guys, that's when the electronic things first start. And Fats hook up on those instruments. Because we hook up on the same instruments that Byron Lee couldn't be playing on. We sound like we had 15 people playing.
Wow.
Bonardi, Fats, and Connor on the keyboard on the French side.
Yeah.
Those are my evidence that I opened for Byron Lee in Brooklyn.
So Byron Lee came on my television show, the other one, Oral Gives Live.
Okay.
Clarence Derby brought him.
Yeah.
And he walked into this. He says to me, "How long is it?" I say, "An hour." But really looked at me and said, "An hour? We can't do an hour."
You got to do more.
The problem, no, he figured that an hour was too much.
Oh, okay.
I said, "No problem. We'll see." Well, when the show started, but I really didn't want to
leave. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We did a full hour, and he actually came back second time another year later on.
Okay.
No, but he loved it.
Right.
And the people loved him. People calling, saying hello to him. He didn't expect that.
Yeah, he was a big thing then,
Yeah.
At that time. He was a big name. So yeah, I did a lot of shows throughout the Caribbean also. I did shows in Dominica.
Really?
Yeah, sure. With the Swinging Stars. There was a band, the #1 band at that time in Dominica and throughout the Caribbean, named the Swinging Stars. I performed with them in Dominica several occasions, about 2 or 3 times.
In Antigua?
Oh, Antigua's my home, my second home from St. Martin.
Okay.
Oh yes, I did a lot of things in Antigua.
See those guys like short shots.
All of those guys know me.
Yeah.
When short shot come here,
Yeah.
it's by me he coming.
Oh.
He get in my car to move around.
Uh-huh.
And that time he had a bar, something on the beach in Antigua.
Right.
Yeah. He buying all these stuff, he liquor and everything by the liquor stores here. And that time I living in South Reward on the hill. And he would stock up my porch. We can't do that today. With 100 cases of Heineken and all the liquor.
Ship them out.
And then he have boats that he do tows and thing in Antigua. He send them 1 or 2 boats. I better they were smuggling it back in, I don't know. But they would come in the night and take up the stuff off the porch and ship it back to Antigua. Upson had the same thing. Ivor Bird, manager director from ZDK radio station.
That's in Kid.
All those my people. He died just about 2 years ago. Yeah, in Antigua. Calypso Joe. All of those Calypsonians in Antigua, when I hit the airport, all you hear, genius, genius, genius. Them fellas give me free car.
Right.
They do everything you don't know who to go out with at night time. 3, 4 of them at your door. You're going out with me tonight. You're going out. I'm well known throughout the Caribbean.
What about Barbados?
I've been to Barbados, but I didn't perform in
Don't worry,
Barbados.
there's something else.
Yeah, I've been there a couple of times and thing because I had this company, West Indies Recordings, something like that. That was the name of it. And they used to distribute my music throughout the Caribbean.
A little different than the other islands, huh, Barbados.
Yeah. Well, it's good. They're good because, to be honest with you, when I'm in Barbados, I'm reminded of in St. Martin.
Really?
I feel like I'm in St. Martin still. They got the kind of touch that we have here. They have the tourists the same way. They have the stores the same way. We have Front Street and thing. So I feel like I seen St. Martin still.
I just sense from other Calypsonians that it's a little different than other islands.
It's different than the other islands.
That's what.
It is different than the other islands.
Yeah. So, man, you had a great career all over the place.
Yeah.
And what about Trinidad now? What stands out in your mind about Trinidad?
Well, Trinidad is the mother place if you're really singing calypso. You have to use, if you want the real flavor of it, you have to go there. You have to go to Trinidad. I haven't really performed in Trinidad, but I've been around. I moved with the Calypsonians, except for the young artists now, the new names that coming out, all those old artists know genius. Because number one, when I first started, Art Decoto, he makes sure that I meet. Every time I go to Trinidad to record, Art Decoto makes sure you meet as much Calypsonians and band leaders as possible. He take me around, take me by Sparrow. He take me by Sparrow 10. He got Shadow chauffeur driving us.
Right.
Yeah. Shadow chauffeur was Croco. He's the next Calypsonian. He's Shadow get big with the song Bassman and thing. He won a car, he had a car, but Shadow can't drive.
Really can't drive?
No, at that time, I don't know before he died if he could. So Croco was the chauffeur. Those guys just take us all over, meet everybody possible.
Well, you didn't mention Calypso Rose, so I'm going to ask you, what about her? You ever met her?
Never met her personally. I saw her from a distance, but I never really went up and present myself.
I was talking to someone the other day, and I said, Calypso Barbara, when she came to Savannah, it was 2 of them that came here. It was her and Calypso Rose many, many years ago.
Calypso Barbara came here with a band, 4 ladies, and there was a group, a band, and they played here for a couple of weeks and then Barbara went back to Trinidad, and she liked the island.
She came back.
And she came back.
Yeah. And never left.
Never left,
Now I remember as a little boy, she used to play up street in the yard there, close by us, next to Lucy Payne, and she was there drumming on a guitar a long time ago.
It was true. 4 ladies, and they played at the Pent Roof, the Blair Ford.
Blair Ford was the first guy from Barbados in Samara that day.
Maybe we had more Barbadians before him, but
the first that I knew.
Known.
Well, it's amazing, man. Anything that stands out in your mind over the 50 years that when you think about it, you say, wow.
I would have to give praise to myself. I didn't believe that this thing would take me that far and make me that known, because I am known as a Calypsonian throughout the Calypso world.
Right.
I'm more popular than any one of the Calypsonians here in St. Martin. Everybody know me. And I did not believe that when I started this thing, that it would take me to where it did. And that's the surprising thing that I think about and that I have, in my mind, really. Because it really take me to know people that I never thought in my life I would get to know those people.
Well, it's good. You have so many songs. A lot of them are on vinyl, and hard to find now.
Yeah.
Because everything now is digital and so forth. Any plans to get a collection of some of your favorite songs and put them out there again?
I have a lot of masters. Most of my masters, I have them.
Okay.
But that was the tape, the big reel tape and thing. But you can't find no machines, nobody using that type of studio now.
Right.
So you can't find no way where you can go and play these things and transfer them over to. So I have them just there pile up.
But still save them. You
never know. Yeah.
So you're gonna throw the hat in, or you're gonna retire, or you're gonna continue?
I said that several times. Several times I said, well, this is my last year, I finish. I will stay out a year, 2 years, and this time here, one of the longest. Yeah. But no matter how much you say you finish, you retire, there's a time. It's a jumbie, like if you listen to my sound there's a jumbie that has come over you. You tell yourself, wow, you have to do something this year. Or if you did it this year, next year can't leave. I can't be out of it for next year. Yeah. So it's hard to say if I'm going to continue or if I'm going to retire.
Man, it's in your blood, man. You can't stop. You can't stop. I don't know anybody who can just get up and say, let me put that song together and get it out there, man. You in the class by yourself.
Yeah. Like I said, I started these songs here in January, and then I was sidetracked because I left the island for 7 weeks.
Yeah.
I got back here on the 19th of March, and from the time I got back here, I put the fire behind these two songs, and I would say about 2 weeks, we had these music and everything together.
So one is 50th
anniversary,
and the next one is
Friends Them.
Why Friends Them?
Because you go out there, Carnival time, right?
Yeah.
You want to meet friends, people that you know, and you want to have a nice time with them.
Yeah.
You want to have a vibes with your friends them. You want to have a chat with your friends them. And you also want to have a drink with your friends. That's what Carnival is all about. Right. Yeah. Just be happy and no problems.
But it's changed a lot, though. It's changing a lot.
Yeah.
I think back of what you just said, right? And you remember you mentioned the village used to be where the Sunday school is, and I said to you, I grew up in that area going to Carnival there.
Yeah.
That was a time when you really was meeting friends there.
Right.
As Carnival changed and now they have the village there, it's still there, but not the way how I know it.
Yeah. Because way back in those days, you never forget the violence that you get to know.
And you knew everybody in the village.
You know everybody. So it's like a friend gathering. Yeah. But now you have to be careful. Be careful where you're going to hang.
Right.
And what you say to people. How close you get to people. All kind of things like that. Everything becomes so ticklish. You have to be careful. Everything changed. You have to be careful.
See how it was? As a little boy, growing up, going to the village, you was going to an event. You knew everybody knew you.
Right.
So it was like a family.
Right. You're outnumbered now. You go in, You say, where my people? I can't see them.
You see, everybody else except
Right.
you people.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm so happy to have you on the show, and we're gonna continue playing.
I appreciate being here too, and I appreciate, the time that you spend in giving me, some airplay and exposure.
We're gonna pump it up with some more of your songs again.
All right, good, nice.
And so, anything you want to say to your fans before you go?
Okay. I would like to say to the people out there, keep enjoying the music, listen to it. And if you appreciate genius music, don't be shy. When you call in on your radio programs or whatever program, just leave the people know what you think about the music. It don't have to be all the time that you like genius. Criticism is good too, because that make me jump a step higher. Right. And I think that's the reason why I'm in front of a lot of the other guys, because I listen for criticism and I try to better that.
That's good. But besides being a great Calypsonian, you're also the best cake maker in St. Martin, the cake boss of St. Martin.
Yeah, that's what they say. That's what they call me.
Everybody want a cake from you?
Yes, I do get a lot of support from the local people. And not only local people, from people in general. I get a lot of support, a lot of cake orders from people that either taste my cake or heard about it. And that support is there.
We make all kind of cake, tarts, puddings, everything.
Any type of cake that you want, you ask me, and I can do it for you.
What's the favorite cake or pie or pudding that people order from you? The number one you see?
There's a lot of favorite cakes. People like cashew cakes, Ponche Cuba cake, and red velvet cake. People like that. And I got a lot of people that like the regular cakes that we know, like raisin cake.
They have a raisin cake too?
Yeah, raisin cake. We have fruit cake. Yeah. People like what they call pong cake. People call for that. Yeah. That's a regular thing from a home mix.
It's a thin cake.
Yeah. Pong cake and things like that. I would say I would stick to the cashew and Ponche Cuba cake. Yeah. Those are popular.
Those are real popular ones.
Yeah.
All right, good. Well, again, it's always a pleasure having you here, man. I want to wish you much success.
I appreciate being here with you also. And I will have to say thanks to you for constantly trying to help me get my music published out there.
We really appreciate you. Now, I remember you back from 1983, actually.
Okay.
Up to 1984 when we launched this show. And you was right there with us, so we appreciate that too.
Yeah, I appreciate being here also.
All right, so 50 years of performing Calypso in St. Martin and the world.
Right. Exactly. Because not only St. Martin I'm touching the world.
Definitely. Yeah. So again, thank you, Mr. Richardson. Much success.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
And that's it for now on Speaking of Everything on YouTube, Facebook, and on Hot 99.9 FM radio.